Hey, 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 good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. Welcome back to Hello English World.
And if this is your very first time here, oh my goodness, you are in for such a treat. Welcome to the family. We are so happy you found us.
I'm Leo,
And I'm Rose.
and together we are your English learning best friends right here on YouTube. This channel, Hello English World, was created for one simple reason: to help people just like you speak English with confidence, naturally, and in real-life situations.
That's right, Leo. We don't teach you stuffy textbook grammar. We teach you the kind of English you actually need. The kind you hear at the coffee shop, at the office, at the park, at the dinner table with friends.
Exactly. We want you to feel like you're hanging out with friends every single time you press play. Because honestly, that's exactly what this is. Real conversations, real language, real life.
And today's episode is one of my absolute favorites because it's so relatable. We are talking about, drumroll please, Leo.
Talk about your day in English.
Yes, because think about it. Every single day, someone asks you, how was your day? And sometimes you don't know what to say in English, right?
Totally. And that's exactly why we're here today. We're going to show you how to describe your morning, your afternoon, your evening, all in natural, fluent English that sounds like a native speaker.
So get your notebooks ready, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's dive in.
Okay, Rose, let's start from the very beginning of the day, the morning. And honestly, mornings are so important because they set the tone for your entire day.
Absolutely. So, Leo, tell me, how do you usually start your morning?
Okay, so I am not a morning person at all. Like, my alarm goes off at 6:30 and I just lie there for another 10 minutes. I hit the snooze button at least twice. Does anyone else do that?
Oh my gosh, me too. The snooze button is my biggest enemy and my best friend at the same time.
Right? So eventually, I drag myself out of bed. And I say drag myself because it takes so much effort. And the first thing I do is splash cold water on my face. That wakes me up immediately.
Ooh, I do something similar. I wash my face and then I head straight to the kitchen. I cannot function without my morning coffee. Like, I am not a human being until I have had my first cup of coffee.
That is so true for a lot of people. And by the way, everyone, notice the phrase Rose just used. I cannot function without. This is a really natural, everyday expression. You can say, I cannot function without coffee. I cannot function without music. Whatever it is that you need in the morning.
Great point, Leo. English is full of these little phrases that make you sound so natural. Okay, so after my coffee, I usually check my phone. I know, that's not the healthiest habit, but I check my messages and see if anything urgent came up overnight.
And then what? Do you work out in the morning?
Oh, I wish. I keep telling myself I'll start a morning workout routine, but honestly, I haven't been consistent. Some mornings I do a quick yoga stretch, maybe 10 minutes, just to wake my body up. Other mornings, I skip it completely. I'm a work in progress.
Okay, I respect the honesty. I actually started going to the gym 3 mornings a week. It took me a while to build the habit, but now I feel really off if I miss a session.
That's amazing, Leo. Now let's talk about breakfast, because this is where people have so many different routines.
Yes. Okay, so in America, breakfast can be anything from cereal to eggs to just a protein bar on the way out the door. It really depends on your schedule.
And internationally, every culture has such unique breakfast traditions. In some places, breakfast is a huge, elaborate meal. In others, it's very light and simple. That's one of the things I love about our audience. Everyone comes from somewhere different.
So whether you have a big breakfast or a quick one, here are some phrases you can use. I usually grab a quick bite in the morning. I make myself a proper breakfast when I have time. I tend to skip breakfast on busy mornings. I always sit down for breakfast. It's my quiet time.
Beautiful, Leo. These phrases sound so natural because they sound like real choices, real personalities. Language is personal, and when you talk about your day, you want to sound like you.
Great point. So here are some verbs and phrases you'll hear all the time. I take a shower every morning. I get dressed quickly because I'm always running late. I do my hair or just throw it up in a bun because time. I put on makeup or I don't, no judgment. I pack my bag the night before so mornings are smoother.
I love that last one. I pack my bag the night before. That's such a good life tip and a good English phrase.
And one phrase that comes up constantly in American English is, I'm running late or I'm running behind. You'll hear that so often. It just means you're not on time. You're rushed.
Like, sorry, I'm running a little late. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Perfect. Natural, totally common. Okay, so now we're dressed, we've had breakfast, or maybe we haven't, and it's time to actually get out of the house. Leo, what's your commute like?
So I drive to work, and my commute is about 25 minutes on a good day. But on a bad traffic day, it can stretch to almost an hour, and I used to find that so stressful.
Traffic. Everyone in the world understands that pain.
Right? But I actually started using my commute time really productively. I listen to podcasts, especially English learning podcasts, hint, hint, and it's become something I almost look forward to.
Oh, that's such a good tip. And by the way, for those of you who take public transportation, the bus, the subway, the train, your commute can be such amazing learning time. Listen to English content, read English articles, practice in your head.
Exactly. And here are some phrases for talking about your commute. I drive to work every day. I take the subway. It's usually pretty quick. My commute is a nightmare during rush hour. I work from home, so my commute is literally 10 seconds to my desk.
Oh, working from home. That's become so common now. And honestly, having no commute sounds amazing until you realize you never actually leave the house.
So true. There's something to be said for getting out and having that separation between home and work.
Now, let's also talk about getting ready, because this is something people ask about a lot. How do you describe your morning routine in English?
Great point. So here are some verbs and phrases you'll hear all the time. I take a shower every morning. I get dressed quickly because I'm always running late. I do my hair or just throw it up in a bun because time. I put on makeup or I don't, no judgment. I pack my bag the night before so mornings are smoother.
I love that last one. I pack my bag the night before. That's such a good life tip and a good English phrase.
And one phrase that comes up constantly in American English is, I'm running late or I'm running behind. You'll hear that so often. It just means you're not on time. You're rushed.
Like, sorry, I'm running a little late. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Perfect. Natural, totally common. Okay, so now we're dressed, we've had breakfast, or maybe we haven't.
All right, now we're into the heart of the day, the work day, or for students, the school day. This is probably where most of your day happens, and there's so much language to learn here.
And this is also where people ask us the most questions because they want to describe what happened at work or school in English, and they're not always sure how.
So let's break it down. At work, some common things you might talk about are, I had a really productive morning. I sat in meetings all day. I'm exhausted. I finally finished that project I've been working on for weeks. Huge relief. My boss gave me some great feedback today.
Or maybe not so great feedback. You can say, it was one of those days. Or today was really tough, honestly. And that's okay to say too. Not every day is amazing.
That's such an important point, Rose. In English, we don't always have to say everything is great. Being honest about a hard day is completely natural. You can say, it was a rough day. I'm really drained. I had a lot on my plate today, which means you had a lot to do.
A lot on my plate. That's a great idiom. It comes from the image of a dinner plate being very full. If you have a lot on your plate, you have a lot of responsibilities or tasks.
And the opposite. It was a slow day today, or things were pretty quiet at work, meaning not much was happening.
For students, you might say, I had a really interesting lecture today. I struggled with the math homework, but I figured it out eventually. I have an exam coming up and I'm so stressed. I had a great discussion in class. My professor really made me think.
So the key to sounding fluent is when someone asks, how was your day? The most natural response isn't just good. It's a short story. It's a feeling with a detail attached.
Exactly. So instead of just saying it was fine, you say it was actually really good. I finished a big project I've been stressing over. See? Same basic message, but so much more engaging.
Or instead of it was bad, you say, honestly, it was kind of a rough one. I had back-to-back meetings and didn't even have time for lunch. Real, relatable, natural.
And people respond to that because when you share a real detail, people connect with you. That's what conversation is really about. Connection.
Okay, let's take a little break from work, literally. Let's talk about lunch.
My favorite part of the day.
Same. So, how do you usually spend your lunch break, Leo?
Okay, so honestly, it depends on the day. Sometimes I eat at my desk, which I know is not ideal, but when I'm really in the zone with work, I don't want to break my focus. Other days, I'll go out with colleagues and we grab a bite somewhere nearby.
Grab a bite. That's such a common expression. It just means to get something to eat quickly and casually. Wanna grab a bite? Let's grab a quick bite before the meeting. Very natural, very everyday.
And then there are the days when I actually take a proper lunch break. I step away from my desk, eat slowly, maybe take a short walk outside. Those days feel so much better.
Yes, in many cultures, lunch is a big deal. In some European and Latin American countries, lunch is actually the main meal of the day. In American culture, it's often just a quick break.
And that's actually a great thing to talk about, your culture's mealtime habits. If you're ever talking to an English speaker about your background, you can say, back home, lunch is the most important meal of the day. We all sit together as a family. That's such a rich, interesting thing to share.
Love that. Language and culture go hand in hand. So, some lunch-related phrases. I usually pack my lunch to save money. I went out for lunch with some coworkers. We tried this amazing Thai place. I didn't have time for lunch today. I just had a granola bar. I meal prep on Sundays, so I always have something ready.
Meal prep, that's a very popular term right now. It means preparing your meals in advance, usually for the whole week. Very trendy, very practical.
All right, so we've gotten through the morning, the commute, the workday, lunch. Now let's talk about the afternoon and evening, which is when people really start to recharge.
And also when a lot of interesting things happen. Errands, hobbies, family time, exercise. The afternoon and evening are when life really happens outside of work.
So let's talk about the afternoon slump first, because this is so real. Around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, a lot of people feel a sudden drop in energy, like you just want to put your head down and sleep.
Yes, the afternoon slump is a very common experience. In some cultures, there's actually a tradition of taking a short nap after lunch, called a siesta. And science actually backs this up. A short rest can boost your productivity.
In American offices, most people just push through it. They grab another coffee, they stand up and stretch, they take a short walk to reset, and then you get kind of a second wind, which means your energy comes back. You feel renewed.
Second wind, great phrase. I was exhausted after lunch, but then I got a second wind around 4 and knocked out a ton of work.
And then comes the end of the workday, which in America is often called clocking out or calling it a day. I finally clocked out at 6. Around 5:30, I called it a day and headed home.
And the commute home, which feels so different from the morning commute. In the morning, you're rushing and anxious. In the evening, you're tired, but there's this feeling of relief. The day is done.
That transition from work mode to home mode is so important for your mental health. A lot of people use it to decompress. They listen to music, call a friend, just enjoy the quiet.
And when you get home, what happens? More beautiful everyday English. I got home around 6:30. I was completely wiped out by the time I got home. Wiped out means totally exhausted. I kicked off my shoes and just crashed on the couch for a bit. Crashed here means to rest or sleep suddenly.
Love those phrases. So natural. And then there's dinner, which in a lot of households is a whole ritual. Cooking, setting the table, eating together. Or ordering takeout, which is also very common.
We ordered takeout tonight. I was too tired to cook. Completely relatable. Or I cooked a big dinner. I tried a new recipe and it actually turned out really well.
It turned out well. Great phrase. It means the result was good. You can use this for anything. The meeting turned out really well. The presentation turned out better than I expected.
Now we're in the home stretch, literally and figuratively. The evening is when people do all kinds of different things. Hobbies, family time, self-care, entertainment.
And this is great for English conversation because hobbies and free time are huge topics in small talk and everyday conversation. People love talking about what they do to relax.
So tell me, Leo, what do you typically do in the evenings?
So after dinner, I like to unwind. That means relax and decompress. I might watch a show on Netflix, or if I'm feeling productive, I'll read for a bit. I've been really into nonfiction lately. Business books, biographies, that kind of thing.
That's amazing. Reading in English, by the way, is one of the absolute best ways to improve your vocabulary and comprehension. Even just 20 minutes a night makes such a difference.
100%. And what about you, Rose? Evening routine?
So I'm a bit of a homebody, which means I love being at home. I love cooking, so sometimes I'll experiment with a new recipe in the evening. I also love video calls with my family. I have family in different countries, so staying connected is really important to me.
That's so sweet. And video calls in English, that's such a real life skill too. Being able to talk comfortably on a video call, especially for work or international connections, is so important.
And then I have my wind down routine before bed. I try to stay away from screens for at least 30 minutes before sleep. I do a little journaling and then I read.
Wind down routine. This is a great phrase. It means the things you do to relax before sleeping. My wind down routine includes reading and having a cup of chamomile tea.
Some other evening phrases. I spent the evening catching up with old friends. I binge watched a whole series. Oops. Binge watch means to watch many episodes in a row.
I went for an evening walk. The weather was perfect. I spent the evening tidying up the house. It was long overdue.
All great, relatable, real phrases. And when you use phrases like these, you're not just speaking English, you're telling your story, your real, everyday, beautiful story.
Okay, so we're almost at the end of the day, both our day and this episode. Let's talk about how to wrap up your day in English because there's so much great language here too.
The end of the day is often when we reflect, think back on everything that happened. And in English, there are so many ways to express how your day went overall.
So, if it was a great day, you might say, "Today was genuinely a great day. I'm feeling really good about how things went. Today was one of those days where everything just clicked." Everything clicked means everything went smoothly and felt right.
If it was a mixed day, it had its ups and downs. This is a very common expression, meaning some parts were good, some were challenging. It wasn't my best day, but I got through it. Some things went well, others not so much.
And if it was a hard day, I'm glad today is over, honestly. It was one of those days. People will totally understand this. It just means it was a difficult, frustrating day. I need to decompress and reset tonight.
And then, of course, going to bed. I was in bed by 10. I stayed up way too late. Again. I had trouble falling asleep because my mind was racing. My mind was racing means your thoughts were going very fast, you couldn't relax.
I slept like a rock last night. That means you slept very deeply, very soundly. Or the opposite. I tossed and turned all night, meaning you kept moving and couldn't sleep well.
These expressions are gold for anyone learning English because they are used every single day by native speakers. They're not from textbooks, they're from real life.
And that's really our whole mission here at Hello English World, bringing you the English of real life, not just grammar rules, but the living, breathing language that connects people.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of some of the key words and phrases from today's episode. Leo, you ready?
Let's go.
I hit the snooze button to delay your alarm in the morning.
I cannot function without coffee. You need something to feel normal or awake.
I'm running late. You're behind schedule.
I have a lot on my plate. You have many tasks or responsibilities.
Let's grab a bite. Let's get something to eat quickly.
I got a second wind. Your energy returned after feeling tired.
I was wiped out, completely exhausted.
I crashed on the couch. You rested or slept suddenly.
It turned out really well. The result was good.
It had its ups and downs, some good moments, some challenging moments.
My mind was racing. Too many thoughts, couldn't relax.
Everything just clicked. Everything went smoothly and felt perfect.
I slept like a rock, slept very deeply.
Binge-watched. Watched many episodes of a show in one sitting.
And of course, wind down routine, the calming activities you do before sleep.
These phrases are your toolkit for talking about any day in English. Practice them, use them, make them yours.
Okay, now it's your turn. Every episode, we give you a little English challenge, something to practice between now and the next video.
Today's challenge is this. Write a short paragraph, just 5 to 8 sentences, describing your day today. Use at least 5 phrases from this episode.
You can write it in the comments below. We love reading your responses. And don't worry about being perfect. We're here to learn together. Mistakes are part of the process.
And if you're shy about writing in the comments, that's okay. Write it in your notebook or voice record yourself saying it. The key is to practice. Consistent practice is what creates fluency.
Even just 5 minutes a day, like right now, you're already doing it. You've been listening to English for this entire episode. That is practice. That counts.
You're building your English every single time you press play. And we are so proud of you for showing up.
Oh my goodness, we have covered so much ground today, from waking up and hitting that snooze button all the way to crashing on the couch and sleeping like a rock. You now have a full vocabulary toolkit for describing your day in English.
And remember, talking about your day is one of the most common things you'll ever do in English. At work, with friends, with family, in interviews, on dates. People ask, "How was your day?" constantly. And now you have beautiful, natural, fluent answers.
Before we go, we want to take a moment to say something important. Thank you. Thank you for watching, for listening, for learning with us. We genuinely love what we do here at Hello English World, and it's because of you that this channel exists.
Every comment you leave, every time you share our video with a friend, every time you come back for the next episode, it means the world to us, truly.
So if you enjoyed today's episode and you got something valuable from it, and I really hope you did, we would love it if you could do a few things to support the channel.
First, hit that like button. Right there. It's free and it takes 1 second. A like tells YouTube that this content is valuable, which helps us reach more people who are trying to learn English just like you.
Second, subscribe to Hello English World if you haven't already. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. We post regularly, and every episode is packed with real, practical English that you can use immediately.
And third, share this video. If you have a friend, a family member, a colleague who is learning English or who wants to, send them this video. Share it on WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you connect, because learning together is so much more fun than learning alone.
And fourth, leave us a comment. Seriously, we read every single comment. Tell us, what was your day like today? Use the phrases from this episode, or just say hi. We love hearing from you.
And if you have a topic you'd like us to cover in a future episode, let us know. We make this channel for you, so your ideas, your questions, your suggestions, they genuinely shape what we create next.
We have so many amazing episodes coming up. Conversations about travel, job interviews, making friends, expressing emotions, navigating difficult conversations, all in natural, real-life English.
So stay tuned, stay curious, and keep practicing. You are doing incredible, every single one of you.
All right, that's a wrap for today. From both of us here at Hello English World, have a wonderful, beautiful, English-filled day.
Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Take care, everyone.